You might be like me. If you were wondering why people aren't buying policies, I mean, I've been through the training, I've been showing up to the calls, buying leads and making dials like my upline and agency told me to, but I'm still not seeing success. This was one of my thoughts as a brand new agent. Mason Van Meter, Running Buddies Academy, and in today's video, I'm going to give you the one thing that if you focus on, will make you 6 figures from your insurance sales. When I first got my insurance license, I was a broke mechanic and machinist, and I was dreading showing up to work every day listening to the fairy tales and complaints of old men, angry old men at that. I had just got engaged when I got my life insurance license, and she was just moving into my house. There was only one problem. I didn't have any money coming in now since I was fired. I remember feeling so happy about finally passing my insurance licensing test, but feeling happy wasn't going to pay the bills. I started showing up to the calls. I admit, I wanted to make a fuck ton of money, but when I started, I just wanted to pay some bills. I just wanted to stop worrying about bills and feel like I was doing something to provide for my small family. I was terrified of letting them down. If you're a man, you know exactly what I mean. I knew that she was moving in, so I had to act quick. And love makes you do some crazy things. So does discipline. I started buying every single lead I could afford, even though my mortgage payment was due. It was either stay in the house or invest in the business. So what did I do? Well, I chose to invest. Even though it was scary at the time, I started booking appointments and landing sales calls. But no matter how much training I went through, these people weren't buying from me. Did I suck? Was I saying the wrong thing? Did I stink across the Zoom screen or something? I mean, I knew I had deodorant on. After days and days and days of not making any sales, the mortgage was right around the corner. And in my head, I thought, no girl would ever stay with me if I can't provide. I have to figure this out. If I didn't make this work, I was going to be broken up with and possibly homeless. Double whammy. It was at this moment when I came across some of Tony Robbins' videos on sales. And I heard him mention something that completely changed my life that night. I was doing it all wrong. It wasn't the leads or anything like that, even though they were trash and aged and shared with thousands of other agents. It was me. I was trying to sell them a policy rather than the problem they were facing and a way out of it. What I had to do was learn to create the problem my product was responsible for solving. I wasn't asking targeted questions, tell me access people's emotions. They were unaware for the most part of what the problem even was. Most of the sales, people would just say, I want to pay off the house if I die. It wasn't until I started getting answers like, when I die, no one can provide for my family and they're going to be homeless in less than a month. And that's the last thing I want for my family. Those are the answers you want. I was just trying to sell a policy originally. Now I was selling them a problem they didn't know existed for themselves. And they wanted out of the problem so bad when it was introduced, so they had to buy a policy because they linked the need to their problem being solved by the policy, and they sold themselves on the idea of life insurance. That is how powerful ideas and beliefs are. You are building the value up in their brain. They are perceiving it to be worth more and making it cheaper in their heads, even though the price stays completely the same. And when they believe this is the solution to their problem, they have to give you money or they are lying to themselves. It's the best way to serve them. They had their belief that this was the only way out of their misery that I made them walk through, and they hated the emotional experience of it. So within the next couple of weeks, I wrote $15K my first full-time month, and boy did my ego build. I paid the mortgage payment and the rest of my bills and literally felt like 1,000 pounds come off my chest. I could breathe. The next month, I wrote $40K, and I want a free trip to Cabo, Mexico for myself and my fiance. This is about to get sweet. I went on to write hundreds of thousands of dollars of premium my first year, winning more free trips and bonuses than I knew what to even do with. And I was able to help other agents do the same exact thing. I would get a new agent, they would suck like I did until I shared this with them in a way that they understood it. And people like Savannah, when she came on, were starting to write 10K a month, like well over 10K a month with me. There was a month she did like 50 or 60,000, which was awesome. And I felt so accomplished now that I knew I could take care of my family and myself. and not have to worry about how much bills cost anymore, or if this card payment's going to go through. If you enjoyed this video, click the share button, put it on your Facebook wall or a group to share this with your friends who need help. If you aren't making money in insurance sales, it's more than likely because you're not creating the problem your product is responsible for solving. So I'd love to know what you learned from this in the comments. As always, happy hustling, party person. And before you go, I have another video that you are really going to want to see. I promise you, you're going to want to see that. So go watch this, go watch that video down there, and I'll see you over there.